views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
The Bronx is the home to the highest eviction rate in the city, with Bronx County Housing Court seeing nearly 2,000 tenants a day, and with the most vulnerable being our seniors. Rates are predicted to increase up to 30% by 2020, according to major research. But there's some good news on the horizon. Stay with us to find out more as we follow up on our recent show about BronxWorks' landmark senior homelessness prevention project that's coming up next on Perspectives with yours truly, Darren Hyman.
Let them know.
What's on your mind?
Let them know.
Anything relevant to life, you bring it to the table. Whether you make a move solo or a movement with a stable. No fables, you speak on your decisions. Cause in the long run, it's your voice, your views, your vision. Keeping it real with many messages for you to know. This ain't radio, but DJ runs the show. Entertainment, he rocks it. Politics, he locks it. The host with the most would handle any topic. Don't forget to share your perspective with shines of light. Cause it might make a difference in someone else's life.
Make a difference.
What's your perspective?
Express what's in your heart and your mind. Share your perspective.
What's your perspective?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Perspectives. I am Darren Hyman. Of course, we thank you for watching, and you can always watch us every week here on BronxNet Channel 67. Now, if you want to find out more information, we encourage you to check us out on social media or go to our website, of course, bronxnet.org, and you can see about Perspectives. Or on our social media sites, you can go to BronxNet Twitter, and or I should say Twitter, Perspectives on BronxNet Twitter. And then also, you can hit me on my personal and professional page, Darren C. Hyme, on Facebook, and then you'll find out about upcoming shows and the things that are happening. And, of course, we'll be glad to share our perspective. Coming up on this edition of Perspectives, it's a unique and much-needed eviction program based right here in our borough. Just a few months ago, they were at the risk of closing and losing funding, having affected hundreds of seniors. But today, BronxWorks is here, sharing some good news about a recent approval for funding that will keep the program going for yet another year. Joining me now is Julie Spitzer. She's the Department Director of the Access to Benefits and Eviction Program Services at BronxWorks. Also joining us is Amanda Brown, the Program Coordinator of the Senior Homelessness Prevention Project at BronxWorks. And ladies, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Good, and got to be an exciting time. I know we
Yes,
had
it is.
Ken on before. We were all nervous about whether
Yeah.
or not the money was going to come through, and glad to report the money's come through, and that's a good thing.
Awesome.
Awesome. So what does it actually mean for you guys now that the money's come through, being able to keep your doors open for another year at least to do what you do, but for somebody who doesn't know what you do, a little bit about it.
Okay, so what it means to us, it means that we can continue staffing our program to help seniors who are at serious risk of losing their apartments. The program services seniors who are getting evicted from housing court, and they have nowhere else to go. They don't have anyone who's helping them. Seniors, as you know, are a very vulnerable population because if anybody's ever been to housing court, it's a very scary and confusing place. And dealing with a landlord who's armed with an attorney and a senior who's not necessarily armed with an attorney, or a senior who may have some difficulties understanding the bills that they paid already and the bills that they didn't, and the money orders that they've issued to the landlord that was not credited, going through a landlord breakdown, things like that. It's really difficult for seniors to have to do under pressure. So what the program does is they not only help the seniors understand the landlord breakdowns, which explains to them, what they paid, what the landlord, charged them, whether it's accurate, whether they're being overcharged, whether they got credited for everything that they've actually paid to the landlord, whether it's public assistance paying it, their SSI checks going in. We sit there and we go through those breakdowns and making sure everything's accurate. We make sure that we talk to them about whether or not, there's repairs in the apartment. We help them not only with the arrears and repairs, we make sure that their income is sufficient. So many of our seniors do not have, all of the benefits that they're entitled to. So we make sure that, as a senior, you're entitled to programs such as the Senior Citizen Rent Increase Exemption Program. Many seniors don't know what that is. So, even though this is a benefit that they're entitled to that would essentially freeze their rent, many of them don't have it. And so we make sure that we process that application to make sure that their rent gets frozen so that they don't get any future rent increases. We assist them with accessing SNAP benefits, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, better known as food stamps. We are making sure that they have all types of benefits, so that way, an attorney may end the court case for today, but we make sure for tomorrow that you don't end up back in court. So we help them access all the arrear payments and make sure that they don't come back.
When you see people come through your doors, obviously a lot of needs, a lot of things that they're standing in the need of. What's one of the most prevalent things that we're seeing people coming through the doors and needing from you guys?
The main thing is the rent arrears. They fall behind on their rent due to insufficient funds or an emergency that came up. They need us to assist them with getting that money. And then, as she stated, benefits. So we screen them for everything that they do have and what they don't have. And then we get them everything from Accessoride to Scree to, if they don't have health insurance, we assist them with that. Anything that can save them money in the future to go towards their rent, or just any other things they may need to use that money for, we assist them with that as well.
Yeah. It's, when I remember when Kim was here before, we were talking, I said it's hard to think about seniors being homeless or on the risk of being homeless, but yet and still there's so many, and particularly here in our borough, that really find themselves at this door. So when this program came about, talk to me about the beginning, the inception, what got it going, and what were the circumstances that actually led to that?
Well, it started with a conversation with the supervising Bronx Housing Court judge, his Judge Matt Haven at the time. Our office is located right next door to Housing Court. And we do provide a lot of eviction prevention services, but none of them was geared towards seniors. And since we had such a great relationship with the courthouse providing eviction prevention services, the judge would often refer clients to us, seniors. And they didn't quite fit the mold of the programs that we got funded. Because most of the funding that we received back then, back in 2011, prior to 2011, were for families, people with children under 18. And throughout the conversation with the judge, he was like, listen, I'm seeing a lot of elderly people coming to my doors, and I have nowhere to refer them, nowhere to send them. And there's so many of them. He goes, and it's breaking my heart to see these seniors get evicted. Can you help? So we were trying to help for a while, and without funding, and it became overwhelming. So we did reach out to a foundation, and the foundation was actually based out of Europe. And they funded us as a pilot program for 1 year. They told us, being that we didn't have any statistical data, because the courts are not allowed to collect data based on age due to discrimination and stuff like that, they told us to see what we can do in terms of how many referrals we would get in. We were charged to service 150 people in a year. Within the first 2 to 3 months, first 2 months, I think, we got 150 referrals and served 150 people, which we were only supposed to serve that much in a year.
Right.
Yeah, and the referrals were coming in, because the program is, the judges refer the cases directly to us. So we don't take like outside referrals. It's just straight referrals from the court. And so when the judges heard about the program, the referrals just kept coming in, and we got about 150 in 2 months.
So talk about results, because obviously when you have this many people coming through the door, what are the results? What are you seeing, and how are people benefiting?
I mean, the results are tremendous. I mean, this year alone, we serviced about 245 people, and we were able to help prevent their homelessness of 245 people. We helped them access various types of benefits. I mean, we were able to save homes for seniors. Of course, even with the funding that we do have, we can't serve everyone. It's just too much. So a lot of people get referred, but the ones that we are able to serve, we're very successful.
Is there a particular demographic that we see with regards to the senior homelessness population?
It's usually low income, well, basically clearly low income senior citizens, a lot of Hispanics and minority people as well. And that's really what we mainly see.
So walk me through them coming through the door. They come through the door, and they've got this challenge. It's pretty major, because you're talking about housing and facing eviction. What do you hear, and what are the first things that you say to people? Because the immediate fear all the time is, listen, I'm going to be out on the street. But there's a whole process before you even get to be on the street.
So the judges give the clients a referral to go downstairs. We have several programs downstairs in the housing court, and then they get referred to our program, the Seniors Homelessness Prevention Project. We pre-screen them to assess the situation. We see what benefits they have, they don't have. We ensure them that we are there to help them, so we try to ease their mind, during the situation. We let them know the steps that we're going to take, the steps that we need them to take in order for us to work together. So we start off with, trying to obtain benefits, sending out any applications that they may qualify for, such as SCREE, to freeze their rent and everything like that. And then we also go through charities or other foundations to also obtain the rent arrears that they have. So in the process of trying to resolve the court case, we're also trying to make sure that they have enough money to, maintain their living as well. So we pre-screen them, we do their intake, and then we create a service plan, and then we work with them throughout the whole process until the case is dismissed from housing court and they're in their home.
All right, well, let's take a quick break, come back and talk more about this. We'll be back in a few seconds when we return, right after this.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Well, we're back talking about Bronx Works Senior Homeless Prevention Project, a project that was about to lose its funding and about to go under, but thanks to the City Council and the work that's being done there, another year has been granted. And so seniors in our borough will have the opportunity to receive help, particularly seniors who are facing homeless or homeless and possibly even facing eviction. And as we were sharing a little bit in the break, a lot of work goes in. It's not just we're going to do, there's a intense intake, and really the follow through, which is really important. Talk to me, because seniors can sometimes get lost in the process. I mean, look, I don't want to do some stuff on a daily basis, of a routine. That's a hard routine to follow. The court, lawyers, the whole 9 yards. So how do you keep them? How do you keep them on task?
Well, I mean, it's a lot, because obtaining funds to help prevent an eviction for a senior can be very challenging. And there's a lot of loops they have to jump through in order to get those funds, because most of our seniors live with very low income. So often their income is pretty much equivalent to their rent. So we have to be able to show most charities that if we help them with their arrears, they're going to have future ability to continue paying their rent, ongoing rent. So, and then why they fell behind on their rent. Is it a money management issue? Is it what's the issue? And if it is sometimes there is some money management issues, and sometimes there isn't. But we make sure that we provide them with budget counseling. So seniors would have to go through a budget counseling, and that's a lot for a senior. Trying to do some budget counseling and understanding how to manage their budget, because they're living off of very little.
And when I talk about this, budget counseling, I'm talking about receptivity. How does a senior, because some, are very set in their ways.
Yes, they are.
Access to information, not wanting to give up information, or even having information to be honest with you.
And that's what makes it challenging, and that's why it's important that we have people who are trained caseworkers who can have the patience to sit with them and explain why these steps are necessary. Why do you have to sit through a budget counseling program? Why do you have to open up a bank account that makes your rent go directly to your landlord, so have direct deposits so you don't lose the checks anymore.
And a lot of these seniors also, they've been living in their homes for like over 20 years or 30 years, and they don't want to lose that apartment. It's their memory. So they will actually comply just based on that. And the fact that they don't want to be homeless, they don't have a lot of family members around them that they can live with. So in that sense, they do comply because they're saying, okay, I really don't want to lose my home. Sometimes they do get lost, in translation, but that's where we come in to also follow up, give them calls, send them letters, let them know that we are still here, we are still helping you, we are trying to resolve your case. We just let them know that we are available.
There's a lot of hand-holding. I mean, we have to do a lot of hand-holding, explaining things over and over again.
Patience is a virtue here.
Patience is a definite virtue. If you ever been to court, trying to read a court stipulation and understand what it's saying, it's very difficult for someone who that doesn't deal with that on a daily basis.
Right.
There's words like execution of the warrant forthwith. I'm like, to a senior, what does that mean? It's like explaining those terms to a senior. It's like, okay, if you don't do this by this day, the marshal's going to come to your house. If you don't contact, so there's a lot of follow-up that we must do.
Yeah. So you've had some great success. What's the biggest challenge you guys find even in doing this? With the great success comes challenges. What's the biggest challenge?
I think the biggest challenge is, even though we would help a senior freeze their rent, most of the rents in New York City are already extremely high. So if you come into us and we meet with you and your rent is already $1,200 and we freeze it at $1,200, that's beautiful. But if your income is only $1,200, it's not really helpful.
Right.
I think the biggest challenge is that although they're building affordable housing, I'm not sure if it's affordable to our seniors and really low-income people in the Bronx. Of what they're calling affordable housing is for people that's earning $25,000, $35,000, and that's low income. And I'm not going to deny that is low income, but the income of most of our seniors and those who are in real need in the Bronx, it's not $24,000, $25,000. You're talking about more people earning $12,000 or of income, and where are they building apartments for those individuals? So that's the biggest challenge.
What would you like people to know?
As far as the program goes, that we're there to help them throughout the whole process, and that we're here to hold their hand. Like the seniors, as she said, it's overwhelming. It's an overwhelming process, but you have people out there that do care about you and do want to see you stay in your home. We don't want our grandparents and other people, on the streets. So we, of course, will look out for our elderly population as well.
So walk us back a little bit. How long has the program been in existence?
Well, we started as a pilot program in 2011. We actually, 2 years later, in 2013, we actually got funded to run the program for 3 years. We went an extra year until 2017, and now we got funding from the City Council. And I'd like to specifically thank this Councilwoman Vanessa Gibson, who led the charge in helping us to secure the funding from the City Council. So big shout out to Vanessa Gibson. I'm
Vanessa
sorry.
Gibson, right. Vanessa Gibson,
Gibson, yeah.
of course, and she's been on our show several times, a friend of this show. So what does it mean to have the City Council really behind you? Because, for a minute, it really looked like, Ken and I were talking on a previous show, it was like really up in the air, really not sure, and but a last minute save.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. Like I said, Vanessa Gibson really led the charge, and we thank every member of the City Council for backing us up. It's really appreciated. It's not just appreciated by us, but it's appreciated by the, hundreds and hundreds of seniors that we serve. And the courts. The courts are Judge Breyer, who's a supervising judge in the courthouse. She really backed us as well. All the judges showed us a great deal of support. I'd like to thank all of them for supporting us. They understand the need of this program, and the seniors really appreciate it. We had a lot of seniors come on to support us and say, how necessary this program is for them.
And when you talk about the judges, obviously the court system all by itself could be treacherous, and going into Bronx County Court is an already an overcrowded courtroom. Do you get the sense with many of those seniors that you're dealing with that they are very overwhelmed in this?
Yes, definitely. But that's why the judges let them know that there is a program downstairs that can help you. Like the judges directly refer them because they know that they need the assistance. They know that they need someone to hold their hand through this whole process. So it is overwhelming, but once they meet with us, they feel a little bit more relieved. Like, okay, there's someone looking out for me.
All right, taking a quick break, come back with more. Be right back right after this.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. Picking a college, man. You and us go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
And we're back talking about the Senior Homeless Prevention Project being held by Bronx Works, a program that nearly was lost but got saved by a last-minute city council intervention. And we want to say that it's very much needed in the borough of the Bronx. We talked about the numbers of seniors who are rising in terms of homelessness and really going into the court system. It's hard to imagine or think about the amount of seniors that can actually be in a court system simply for falling behind in rent. But it does happen, and in our borough all too often these two beautiful young ladies are at the front lines of making this happen and helping with this. And as you said, the judge pretty much says, listen, just come on downstairs. And folks are pretty compliant, huh?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's easier because we're located in the basement of the courthouse. So that's very important to say. So it's not like a person would have to be referred to another organization somewhere else. The judges found that this program was so important that they needed to have us right in the courthouse. And if you've ever been to court, space in court is very limited. And we were provided with the space in the courthouse so that we can service the seniors, because the judges realize how important this program is. Because there'll be a lot of drop-off if seniors have to, imagine how difficult when you have ailments or whatever your issues are, that you have to leave your house, get a ride to take you to a courthouse, spend a day in a courthouse, and then be told, oh, you have to go to this other organization that's located 6 blocks away or 20 blocks away or 30 blocks away and get to that organization to get services and then come back to court. With us, we're right there in the courthouse. We're in the basement. The judge will tell them, go downstairs and meet with these people, and they'll send something upstairs and let me know. And they'll sometimes go with you upstairs and figure out what's going on and hold your hand through the process.
So you have a very powerful program here, but there's also some other programs you have as well.
Yes.
So we have programs for everyone. I mean, we have programs that service seniors. We have several programs that service, besides eviction prevention. We have the senior centers where people can come in and get a meal, breakfast, lunch. We have, they can have recreation. We have a senior housing repair program where they'll come in, they'll help you do minor repairs in your apartment. We have an elder abuse program. We have programs for other eviction prevention programs for people who are single, people with children. We have a home-based program. We have health insurance, food stamps, all types of programs that would help individuals in the community.
So if people want more information, you saw the information at the bottom of the screen about the Senior Homelessness Prevention Project, but also you have the number to Bronx Works where you can actually reach out and be able to do it. What's a common mistake that many people make coming through your doors that they need to, that maybe we could, you know, educate somebody on? Don't make this mistake.
What, a regular person or a senior?
Senior.
Basically, when they get the referral, they don't come in right away sometimes still. So that would be one of the worst things that you can do, because they give you a certain time, so a time limit to resolve your case. And sometimes we've had people come in like 2 days before the date that they're due back in court thinking, oh, well, I thought I was going to just get the money and that was it. So I would say once you get that referral, please come downstairs, see us so we can, you know, assess your case and try to resolve it as soon as possible.
Is there a general time frame to resolving a case? Do you have a estimated time how long it takes you to resolve each case?
It depends on the severity of the case. Sometimes it may take a couple of weeks. Sometimes we can get money really fast and it'll be like 1 to 2 weeks. Sometimes it's extended because somebody didn't comply with something, or, you know, things just fall through a little bit. But it takes a little while. But if they ever do need more time in court, when the court sees that the client is working with Bronx Works and we request for more time by doing an order to show cause, they do see, okay, they're working with Bronx Works, they have someone helping them, I'll give them an extra 3 weeks to resolve this situation. So we're able to get them more time in court if needed.
That's good. Well, ladies, I want to thank you guys, ladies, I should say, for coming and sharing with us. And hopefully we can get some more information out there. If you know somebody that's stuck in this situation, listen, look up the information. It's valuable. It can help to actually save a senior with housing. And so thank you both for coming and sharing vital information here. That about wraps it up for this edition of Perspectives. I am Darren Hyman. Until next time we meet, we encourage you to stay safe, share your perspective with somebody else. It just might make a difference in someone else's life. Take care.
What's on your mind?
Let 'em know.
What's on your mind? What's on your mind?
Let 'em know.
Anything relevant to life, you bring it to the table. Whether you make a move solo or a movement with a stable. No fables, you speak on your decisions. Cause in the long run, it's your voice, your views, your vision. Keeping it real with many messages for you to know. This ain't radio, but DJ runs the show. Entertainment, he rocks it. Politics, he locks it. The host with the most would handle any topic. Don't forget to share your perspective with shines of light. Cause it might make a difference in someone else.
Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant.
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
I'm only 17, but I know about investing. Believe in something, buy shares in it, watch it grow. So, what if you could invest in the future? The future of kids, like a stock. Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. I could be one of the first college graduates from my family, the first philanthropist from my neighborhood. And if I'm the first, then maybe there's a second and a third. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow.
My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.